Hello everyone. We are in the Creek Bar and I am with one of the absolute legends of harness racing in Vic Frost. Firstly, Vic, can I just say happy birthday, 82 years young in a couple of days and looking as fit as a fiddle. What is your secret?
Chris, I don't know about fit as a fiddle, mate. I have been fitter. But, mate, look, I'm pretty good. For my age, I'm still puttering around with a few horses and keeping Gail busy, and all that sort of stuff, mate, and going to the races. I've been good. Yeah.
Good on you, mate. It's been a storied career and it's a magnificent journey. Born in New South Wales, and us Queenslanders, we won't hold that against you, but diagnosed with asthma at a young age, and something you've managed for your whole life. So something that people might not know off the track about you is that medical condition and the struggle you've had with it.
Yeah, I've had a struggle with it, mate, that's for sure. But, but we've held it at bay. It's troubled me all my life. I've had it all my life, so I've never been free of it. So at times I thought I was never going to make it, but I'm here. So I'm going better than others that haven't made it. So
the alternative's not great.
No, that's right.
The first star that you got, that you really got going, was the Queenslander Lucky Creed, 24 straight wins, including a Miracle Mile. Tell us more about Lucky Creed and his trainer Merv Wanless.
Yeah, well, Merv, as most people know, that Merv was a very hard bloke. He's a real good bloke, but he was a hard man, and he done a mighty job with that horse. And I'll never forget there one day he was down at our place, and Merv had a bit of a crook heart, and the horse wanted shoeing, and I said, Merv, I'll put them shoes on for you, mate. No, he said, I'll be able to do it. And he get there and he's puffing and panting. And I said, mate, I'll help you. No, he persisted, and he did end up shoeing him, but I offered plenty of times. I said, mate, I didn't want him to fall over, and not get up again, but that's the sort of bloke he was. He had to do it himself, and he'd done a good job of him, shot him well, and he went on and won all those races. I was just the driver, and he was a great horse, and they were great people, like Dulcie as well, so, yeah.
A fantastic boost and start to the career. What about horses the likes of Glenn's Thunder and Area Code?
Well, they were both damn nice horses they were. Glenn's Thunder, he won the Cranbourne Cup there one year, quite a lot of years ago now, and he was a 4-year-old. And the chairman of stewards, as we weighed in that day, he made a remark. He said, "This is a very good horse." He said, "Horses don't lead on this track and get home. They normally, over long distance races, because Cranbourne, everyone knows it's all uphill coming to the winning post. So if you're in front early, you're normally not in front at the end because the horses get over you." And anyway, my bloke held them all off and still won the race, and he was pretty impressed about that. So anyway, I went home with a trophy and a big cup and all that sort of thing, and after drinking out of it, of course. Then we were invited to go to Western Australia for the Gold Nugget, was worth 100,000, and he probably was the best 4-year-old around at that stage, and I knocked them back. I said, no, I said, I'm trying to look after him. He's done a good job. I want to take him home and give him a spell. Mm-hmm. And I've come back to Sydney, and they kept ringing from Perth, the officials and all that sort of thing. Anyway, eventually they paid everything. They paid for another horse to come with him, all that sort of thing. And I gave in to it. Yeah. And that was the worst thing I ever done. I gave in, and we got there, I think, the Friday morning, the wings fell off the plane in Melbourne. You had to fly from Melbourne. We had to fly from here to Melbourne and then leave from Melbourne to Perth. But anyway, the wings fell off one night, and then something else was not right the next night. So we were up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then for 3 days in that week getting there from Tuesday on. Eventually, we got there on the Friday morning, and the float guy that picked us up, he said, "That horse of yours is kicking." I said, "He's never kicked in his life. A beautiful horse, you know." And no, a bit further, a couple more tracks. He said, "That horse of yours is kicking. I'm telling you now." And I said, "Oh, I can't believe it." Anyway, what had happened? I said, "Look, you better take me over to the track because he's racing tonight in the heat of the Gold Nugget. So you got to qualify, and then the finals the next week." So he took me over, and he, I give him a jog round the track just up from the plane, that sort of thing, before I went back to the stables. Anyway, that was okay, and the bloke insisted he's still kicking, and I said, "No, he's never kicked me." But anyway, come back that night. He won the heat.
Yep.
And then from then on, he got this disease, which actually founded him, and his feet fell off. It was just like a wet rubber boot. You could get hold of his, and then they cut his tendons and trying to save his life, and just went on for ages. And we eventually had to put him down. So, I gave in to the money, which I thought he'd probably win anyway. But anyway.
And I know you've always been a man, and you still are, about the animal and the horse itself and the safety. So
I should have stuck to my guns. Yeah.
Let's talk about Westburn Grant, the absolute superstar, a freak of nature. 38 wins from 67 starts, over 2 million in stakes. Have you allowed yourself time to marvel at what he actually achieved?
Well, sometimes I think, you know what? I worked it out one day, and I don't know whether my maths are right. Well, they're not real good, but anyway, I think for every time I took him to the races, he won $33,000, and I thought, am I right? And if you do the maths, anyone can do them, and that's about what it was. And I thought, God, how do you get a horse like that? Every time you put him on the float, he wins you $33,000. Every time you take him to the races, unbelievable. It's hard to get your head around it.
I like one of those in my backyard. And you took him everywhere. You weren't afraid to race him in any state in Australia, plus New Zealand, winning the 92 Inter Dominion at Moonee Valley. Let's talk about his first Miracle Mile victory, which was absolutely spine-tingling.
Yeah, it was, absolutely, yeah. We come out of the gate that night, and Thorpe was drawn inside me, and he's a fast horse, he got a lot of speed. And I thought, oh, geez, how am I going to get across him, So we burst out of the gate, and 26-2 first quarter, which has never been heard of, around Harold Park, it might be all right around Menangle. But, back then, it was something super. So anyway, we were sort of broadside and getting around the corner, this before they revamped the track. But anyway, I got to the front. Brian sort of had to give up because we couldn't keep going at that speed. And I just backed up a little bit, and then down the back straight, Brian, I think it was the Kiwi horse come out right, and Brian come off the fence. He didn't follow me because there's no sprint lane, it was on the rail. And so we come outside me around the corner, and just got to the top of the straight. I just let him go, and he kicked away again. And won like a super horse, really. So just fantastic that win.
Let's move forward. You moved to northern New South Wales, Sleepy Hollow, I think it is.
Yes. Yeah, correct.
You've had success there as well. Have you enjoyed your time there?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's a great place to live. It's away from the cold, which we used to get down south, but sometimes it's a little bit hot up there, but you got to put up with something, Chris, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And what about horses like Shandon, Sailor's Corner, Driving Aqua Gold?
Yes.
Great memories?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Shandon, he was a great horse. Only started him, I think, about 6 times, and for 5 wins in the second. So, but he was a horse that was not real good in the legs, and so we had Spacey's runs a little bit, although we didn't space it between the Gold Coast Cup and the one here, I think, with the Brisbane one. Mm-hmm. That was only a week apart, but he still won them both. But he was a horse that didn't like being backed up too quick, you know.
You're just south of the Tweed River. Do you consider yourselves Queenslanders yet?
Well, we do all our racing in Queen. Well, not all. I mean, a little bit. We've done a little bit at Newcastle and Menangle, but mainly here. Mainly, yeah. We're pretty well Queenslanders. This is where we do our racing mostly. Yeah.
It's a big year coming up in this state. We've got the Constellations / Winter Carnival coming up in July, and then at the end of the year, we have, the pinnacle of harness racing, the Inter-Dominion, back in Brisbane after more than 2 decades of not being hosted here in Brisbane. Your thoughts?
It'll be fantastic, really. I mean, the racing here in Queensland is super good. Like anyone who wants to come to Queensland has got to have a pretty nice horse, because, we got horses here going fast all the time. We can compete anywhere we want to go with Queensland horses. They're going really good now. The Queensland trainers, they're as good as they come. So we got some very good trainers around.
I'm guessing you think that Queensland's heading in the right direction. We're moving to a new home. The Albion Park Harness Racing Club going to relocate in a few years' time to Norwell. That's close to your home. It'll be easier for you, won't it, Vic?
Oh, absolutely. We can't wait till the move comes. Yeah, it'll be a lot easier for us.
Look, we could chat on forever, but I've got to wind it up. On behalf of the club, everyone in the industry, I know you're surrounded by family and friends here tonight to help celebrate your birthday, a couple of days before it actually is. I think it's on Monday. Happy birthday, many happy returns, and we hope to see you more regularly here at Albion Park, and may the winners continue.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Chris. It's been a pleasure talking to you, mate.